Roots to Wellbeing uses the 5 ways to wellbeing to support your mental health. Connect, take notice, keep learning, be active and give. Thanks for watching.
Hello there. So today I'm joined with Sharon Champion. Now Sharon first came to Roots to Wellbeing, came on one of our walks actually, didn't you? You saw a leaflet and you came on one of our Nordic walks.
One of the
which
Nordic
is amazing.
walks.
Which we run in lots of different places in and around Essex. So at that time, was it Parndon Wood that you came to first? Was that the first place you came to?
Parndon Wood's the only one I've done because I love the woods.
Oh, yeah. So Sharon, just introducing Sharon today, because Sharon has been really supportive as our official photographer at many of our events. And today, actually, we would have been today where we're recording this video. We would have been at Parndon Wood Nature Reserve for our 2nd year running for our. No, 3rd year, you're right, yes. 2018, 2019, 2020, sorry, it would have been the 3rd time we would have been there in May for Mental Health Weeks. It's quite pertinent talking to you today. And one of the things that Sharon was planning to do was a bit of a mindful photography walk, weren't you? So, which would have been nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can see Sharon's got some lovely photos behind her as well. She's done herself. So, yeah, I can see them. They're amazing. So, what, like for you, Sharon? Because I know that one of your passions really is sort of nature photography. So, what first got you into that?
I grew up as a child loving nature. I had at school. I'm talking of junior school. One of my best friends at that time was into nature. And that's kind of like moving from Enfield to Broxbourne, where we've got all like the lovely parks, Lee Valley Park and woodlands near us. That's kind of what got me into nature initially, just watching nature. And then in my teens, well, no, I sort of go back even further. My first experience with a camera was, I must have been about 7 years old. And we were going on family holiday to Jaywick, which was a big thing back then. And I had my mum and dad's camera, and it was one of these weird things with like the bulb flash thing. Not from a wealthy family or anything. So back then it was expensive to like have like the film camera. And I remember taking pictures of my sister on the drive before we'd even left, holding her big giant chimpanzee. So that was my first experience with a camera, and I got told off for wasting film, and mum and dad having to go out and buy more film. But and then because I've done that, I then got a little Kodak Brownie camera, so it was just kind of snapping. And I used to work up stables, like just getting experience as a teenager, taking the camera up there, which was kind of up the back of Broxbourne. By my late teens, camera was coming with me everywhere. Holidays, it would just be taking landscape photography, any nature stuff. And then as I sort of got older, the nature developed. I was just like into watching with the camera, just focusing on a bird or a butterfly, and you can just kind of lose yourself. That's what I like.
Yeah, it must take a lot of patience. I suppose there's a word, I can never pronounce his name, but it's an author. When I was trained as an occupational therapist, they talk about a state of flow. Tristan, I think is the name of the guy. But they talk about flow, and when you're in flow and when you're immersed in that activity and you're really immersed in it, you can sort of forget things, can't you? You're just, it's you. I suppose for you, it'd be you and the camera, you and the lens are one, and then what you're observing. Because I mean, you've got a real range of photographs that you've done. I know you've got a couple. You've been featured on the calendar for Paradise Wildlife Park, haven't you? So it must take, it takes a while to get a picture of that. You know, I love photographs. I love cameras. I'm not a photographer, but I just love to see things. I suppose with nature, you've got a double whammy really, because you've got the experience of doing it, and then of course you've got the experience of looking through that and the joy that brings to yourself and others. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's nice because it's a day out, it's time out my camera probably goes most places with me, to be honest. I mean, I work photography and I relax photography, and to relax, it's just nice because it gets you out. I like the woods, so to be up the woods, like just stopping, listening, to like focus in on something, and then I'm kind of alert to like different bird songs, so I'll know if I'm looking for a woodpecker or something, and then I can kind of tune into where it is, and just the camera's set up when I leave the car, so I'm ready to go, but it's just tuning in before I get going. And then once them pictures, I'll just snap. I'm just focused through that camera the whole time, which totally makes me oblivious to whatever else is going on in my life.
Yeah.
So if it's a bit rubbish, it's gone, it's forgotten, because my focus is through that lens. And then when I get home and load them on the computer, I'm focusing on it in another way, because then I'm creating the picture. I've focused on the picture, and now obviously these have been edited on the computer, so you're still concentrating on something you've focused on.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It must feel lovely when you then get back and you're able to see what you can create with, and I suppose the memories of the making of that photograph. I'm sure you look at these photographs and you think, wow, it take you back to a memory of that particular day. And that's a sensory memory, which is again taking notice. What is there any aspects? So I mean, obviously with Mental Health Awareness Week, we're talking about how the activities and the things that we do support our mental health. What is there any sort of aspects of yourself? Because I mean, like myself, as I always share, I sort of suffer with my moods change. You know, sometimes my motivation, sometimes I get anxious. What is there anything that you've noticed on a difference in feeling when you're immersed in photography?
If I've had, I do suffer with anxiety, and I would say to anyone, you know, if you like photography, you don't need all the expensive equipment. But if you suffer with anxiety and you like taking pictures, get your phone out. The phone, cameras on phones these days are really good. And you know, just get out and focus. And that's what I find. If I've had a really, really busy week at work and it's stressed me out, which quite often it does, and I'm not talking the photography work, I'm talking like the proper day job work. I find if I go, I've got like Rymead's Nature Reserve, just 5 minutes drive up the road. And if I've had a really busy week, some Saturday mornings, if I'm not working, I'll just do a flask of coffee, get a cereal bar, go up there, sit in a bird hide, just kind of bring myself down a bit, just to relax, calm down, while I'm just kind of focusing out on either the lake or the scrape of land. And I just feel my mood, I just feel myself calm down. I think it's an excellent way for kind of grounding yourself. I just find it so relaxing. To me, it's a therapy.
And it's I think what I love about you and the way, you know, obviously we're blessed you're part of our community, and that, you know, it's lovely to see. I think last year especially, you know, going as well, doing different types of photography. You know, I know that you've started branching out and doing more of like what was a hobby and something that helps you relax, but actually doing that with weddings and different subject matter. And even at our events, I remember the lady had some really lovely jewelry, and you took some really nice shots to that. So it's quite nice to it must be lovely to diversify with your photography, and in so many different ways. I think what we're going to do at the end of this, we're going to, Sharon sent in some beautiful pictures, so I think we're going to go through a few of those. We've got some music, hopefully, that might reach. My daughter's boyfriend is doing a music production course, so we can put something on there as well. Is there any ones in particular that you're proud of? Any particular pictures that you?
Wildlife, or just all in general?
Yeah, just in general. Anything that you want to feature? Anything that...
I do love my butterflies. I think I've sent you some butterfly ones. I haven't got them because a lot of like quite a lot of my pictures that I've taken of like wildlife stuff, I haven't gone for a while, because last year, like, the business got busier and I was going to camera club every fortnight, but then I was obviously working full-time and doing the part-time photography business. It all got a little bit crazy, but a lot of the pictures I was submitting into competitions at camera club, they've got them up on the walls at work, so I've kind of got a little gallery at work. So my butterflies, they're up there, and the ones that I got in the 2 calendar entries for Paradise Park, they're at work. One I am proud of, I don't know if you can see it actually, this one.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Where's that?
This is going back a few years when I kind of like got back into photography, and we went up to the Lake District. It was the first time I'd gone to the Lake District. My first digital camera, I didn't really have a clue what I was doing with it. And it was in January, it was freezing cold. It's near Lake Windermere somewhere, at the back, going from Lake Windermere to Lake Coniston. And I come home one day and Lee had it printed on a canvas for me, and I had no idea. So I love that picture because it kind of takes me back to being on that little road in the Lake District.
It's lovely.
And my birds, I love my birds of prey. I don't know if
I mean, I can see that must take a lot of a lot of patience to photograph a bird in that much detail. It must take a lot of patience to.
I had a zoom lens. I wasn't getting that close to it. I've had one of them on my arm. I know it. They can do some damage. And the cheetah, funny enough, I think you might have a different one to him. It's the same cheetah, but I think you might have a different picture.
I will have a look.
I watched him for ages. I've actually got pictures of him, like,
wow,
backwards and forwards waiting to be fed. This was at Paradise Park. But when I didn't notice when I took the pictures, but once I got them on the computer, you can see all the softness of his fur. Like, very fine hair, and it's like, this is what I mean. You don't necessarily see everything until you get it on the big screen.
Wow.
And then you're looking at things in more detail. So
amazing.
Yeah, I love lemurs. So there'll always be pictures of lemurs somewhere. They just make me laugh. They're comical. And I haven't got no bird other than the American bald eagle. I've got loads of like blue tits and great tits, but I haven't got them printed here at the moment. I've got loads of wedding photos, but these are the relaxing ones.
Yeah.
I say that, I shouldn't say that. Even like when I'm working weddings.
I've seen your wedding photographs.
I love it.
I've seen, and I know a couple of people whose weddings you've done, and you've actually gone and done your like pre-shots and stuff. You've done them at the woods, haven't you? You've gone up to the woods, and that's quite creative. So you're bringing nature together with your couples, aren't you?
People have said to me, well, where are we going to do our pre-wedding shoot? And kind of like the common theme would be to do it at their venue. But I think I want them to relax. I want them to enjoy the experience. They can have their wedding pictures done at the venue. Yeah, I get it that it's kind of like a pre-run for the big day, but it's just an engagement shoot kind of thing. I just want them natural and relaxed. And when we've gone up there, so I think there's a couple I've done up there. There was a couple that were due this year, but obviously we've got weddings are postponing at the moment. And they've said how relaxing it was, and it was just nice to be in the woods and hear all the nature around them. And I kind of forget that I'm there working, and then I'm walking on going, oh God, did you hear that spotted woodpecker? And it's up there.
Yeah, there's a few in there, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah, I mean we're missing our groups at the moment, and Ezra, who is the current manager at Palms and Woods, he's going to do a little stop for us tomorrow, actually, filming tomorrow. So there'll be something else up here showing sort of the woodland paths and things. And yeah, it's just lovely to go somewhere where it's just you and the woods. It's quite quiet there, isn't it? It's just quite.
I love it up there. There. There's one day in October. I think it was you that said you'd done one of your walks, and you'd said, I call them the fairy tale mushrooms, the fly agaric, the red ones. I'd never ever in my life seen one, and I think it was like a rainy October day, and I thought, do you know what, I don't care, I'm going up there, I'm going to go and find this mushroom, this toadstool. And I just spent an hour up there on my knees in the wet grass photographing this mushroom.
Wow.
Us photographers get a little bit.
No, but there was loads of them last year. There was loads of mushrooms out last year. There was loads of these fly agaric. Well, hopefully we'll get a picture and put it on here. But they're like a red sort of toadstool. If anyone's, it's like a fairy mushroom. And there was a ring of them. They grow in a ring. And actually, one of our walkers. This is how you learn from others as well. I'm from the East End of London. I might lead the walks. But we had a lovely guy, Martin, who's quite into nature, and he was telling us the story about all the different types of mushrooms. And just behind those woods, we then found something called a puffball mushroom,
Right.
which, yeah, I can show you where they are later in the year, hopefully. Yeah. And they've got a little thing in the middle, and they puff out this white smoke. They're only small. I tell you what, that'd be one to photograph. You've got to sit there for a while waiting for them to puff out this little bit of white smoke, but it was amazing. Really amazing.
I love it. It's just so relaxing.
Oh,
I love it. I'm waiting to get the badgers. Someone told me where the badgers were, so but I need to get up there on a Thursday evening. I can't get up there at the moment. Well, it's not open at the moment, but
yeah. Well, they do a bat walk at the woods as well, and that's another thing. So if you guys, we're talking about things that are quite near to us. But if you do have woodland nearby or woodland trust, it's worth just finding out what they do there. They're normally quite low cost. And there's normally ways that and hides, what we're talking about, a hide is basically like a shed. It's somewhere where bird watchers would sit, and you sit, and you normally have like little windows, and you can just sit and wait. You might see deer, you might see squirrels, you might see rabbits, you might see birds, you might see it. It's just amazing. I do know already we've got people contributing from all around the world, including Canada, so maybe some of our Canadian friends will show us some different forms of wildlife. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we've got some mooses.
Oh yeah, mooses would be nice. Yeah. I don't know what the plural of a moose is. I don't know. It's a moose loose about this hoose.
I think they're mooses.
I think they are.
I could be wrong.
Oh well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. A pleasure meeting up with you today. Like I say, we're going to add some of your wonderful photographs, and just really thankful, having people like yourself on board to help us show the world what we do. It's really good. We're really blessed, and it's really nice to hear how photography has supported you, but also how that inspires and supports others.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it. I love it, and I love being part of the coming along and photographing your events for you as well. I mean, what can be better to photograph like a wellbeing event and enjoying the yoga and the Pilates and all the treatments as well?
Oh yeah, no, we had so our last one would have been February, wouldn't it? Our last event in February.
January, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a bit later this year. I think it's February this year. We were January, okay. Yeah, because Linda had a course. So yeah, maybe we can find some photographs of that to put on as well, because that was nice. So that was indoors, and the year before we did that for a local homelessness charity as well. We did it for Streets to Homes. We called it Beat the Winter Blues, and we raised over £1,500 for Streets to Homes. So that was a nice thing as well. But thank you. It's nice to have you on board.
Well, yeah, that's yours actually. That was from your last.
That was food. That's Hearty from Community Embrace, who hopefully is going to feature in this series as well. So Hearty, I'm going to see if we can do a video of Hearty about Give. So Community Embrace UK are another charity, and at the moment with COVID-19, they are delivering, well, they were anyway, but they're delivering food from different supermarkets to people who are in need. So they've got quite a few different supermarkets on board, and they've got a lovely team, and they do a lot for the community. So please God, once things get changed, we'll be meeting up again. But
definitely. You're welcome.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. So I'll let you go. So thank you guys. So hopefully, like I say, these photographs will be on here somewhere. So either at the end or in the middle, depends on how we edit this. But lovely to meet you. Lovely to see you again, Sharon. Bye-bye, guys.
Take care. Bye. Bye.
inspired and want to learn ways to support your mental health, please subscribe to our channel. Or you can find us at www.rootstowellbeing.org. And if you would like to get involved in future videos, please contact hello@rootstowellbeing.org. Thank you.